Okay, this is test 2 of the WS2812B LEDs from World Semi mounted to our custom board. We have 5 boards here, 5 strips, and what we're seeing in failure modes is that one of the colors occasionally on 1 or 2 LEDs would die or fail. These packages only have 4 pins, data in, data out, VCC, and ground. So if the data were to fail, then the subsequent LEDs, which are in a daisy chain, would fail as well. In this case, we're not seeing that. The data does continue on. It's individual LEDs inside of the package that are failing. So the individual diodes here are bonded to the IC, which is inside the package. You can see that all 3 diodes are in the bottom left pad there together, which is different than some other WS2812B packages where the blue diode is actually on the right pad. You can also see that the IC is sort of lengthwise in the vertical direction here. Other packages sometimes have it horizontal. Just to note the differences between different WS2812B LEDs. So we notice that this failure mode is a result of temperature. So I have my thermocouple here. Thermocouple, you can see, is a brisk 15 degrees, 16 degrees, and that's ambient. Slowly warming up the office. I can see I have my coat on. But the board is roughly at ambient as well. So now I'm going to turn it on. The easiest color to detect the failure mode, I have a controller here that will will display animations in color. The easiest one would be white, which shows RG and B on. And immediately it will display correctly, but within about 30 seconds, I expected 1 or 2 LEDs to fail. And then after about another minute or 2, when it's warmed up, they may recover. Alright, so let's bring this guy online. Oop. Pow. And we'll bring it to solid white. And when one of the LEDs fails, I'll change it to an animation. In this setup, the LEDs will wrap around to the other side. And now it's just a waiting game. So temperature right now on this diode, slowly rising. (18 degrees). And we'll check the other side. Oh, and we have 3 yellow LEDs. It's quite difficult to focus on. 4 yellow LEDs. And another yellow LED on this side. So I'll change it to animation. You can see that even in the animation, the diodes are still displaying. Wow, that's really hard to see on the camera. But the middle 2, there's 2 in the middle. The camera is having a really hard time focusing on that. But in the third and the bottom, and as they warm up, they start to recover. So on this side, it's on the top, and it's just coming back now. Let's bring it back to solid. Still 1 yellow LED in the middle there on this side, and none on this side. And this side's fixed now. So it takes about a minute or 2 for it to recover. And the temperature here, I suspect that the package itself is not warming up as fast as the LED, the pad that the LEDs are bonded to. But we're hitting 20 degrees now, 21 degrees, 22 degrees. Oh, and yes, it is also temperature sensitive. So this LED that I'm probing has turned yellow. Let's see if we can poke it a bit more. if I poke it, oh yeah, if you poke it, you get different colors. Sometimes it changes blue, and sometimes it turns off. And there's red. So it is also pressure sensitive as well. And I'm not pressing very hard for it to do that either. But it does seem to be a failure on potentially the silicon potting or whatever material that they use to pot the lens of the LED. Anyways, that one looks like it's probably unrecoverable at this point, since it's now pressure sensitive rather than temperature sensitive. And I could probably assume that the other ones that were failing are of similar failure modes. And I've got about another 100 of these that are considered unreliable at this point. It is kind of warm to the touch now. If I bring the probe in, we're now reading 31 degrees. Keep in mind this is running about 100 LEDs on full brightness white. We're consuming about 15 watts of power. As you can see here, 3 amps at almost 5 volts. And I have seen these LEDs go as high as 70 degrees. So if you run them way too long. And that concludes test 2 of WS2812B LEDs.